California may be reopening the door on the death penalty. Dormant for years, the state commission makes a move that brings the death penalty back into focus. Take a look at this. The state of New York has published a how to use heroin handbook. The state published it. Well, that ought to keep drugs off the streets. Yeah, it's going to be partly cloudy. No one does it like the filter. The choir cast is coming up. Your big fancy Doppler radar's got nothing on us. Hello again on the Filter Forefront, our top four of the day, and we start with this. Last night we asked the question, what's more important to you, your security or your privacy when it comes to air travel? Today the mayor was at LAX and he said he supports expanded use of body scanners. Meantime, suspicious material inside luggage in Bakersfield shut down the airport. Turned out to be 5 soft drink bottles filled with honey. Right now everybody's being hypervigilant. Also word that enhanced screening will take place on all flights coming from 14 countries, including Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and Pakistan. Our contributors tonight coming in via Skype, former LA City Councilman Jack Weiss, and the editor of RedCounty.com, Matt Cunningham. And Matt, I'm going to start with you. Is this increased security or is it profiling?
I think it's both, and I think it ought to be both. We ought to be profiling at airports. I mean, profiling is an everyday part of life, from commerce to sales to deciding who our friends, employees, and employers should be. I think it's foolish to let misplaced political correctness interfere with common sense security measures.
Jack?
We're not fighting a rainbow coalition of terrorists. We're fighting Islamist terrorists from specific areas of the world, and failure to focus on passengers who fit those profiles is the equivalent of deliberately and unnecessarily exposing ourselves to terrorist attacks. I mean, let's ask ourselves which is worse, blowing up planes and dead passengers, or some Saudis or Nigerian Muslims with hurt feelings. I think the priorities are clear, and the action we need to take is clear. Let's focus on passengers coming who fit the profiles, as politically incorrect as that word is, of potential terrorists.
Jack?
Well, I think we need to change our mindset here, change the philosophy. It's not about privacy and it's not about profiling. We need to become Israelis in our approach to this. When you go through the airport at Ben Gurion, and I've gone there many, many times in the last several years, the Israelis don't profile you. They profile your behavior. They test your behavior. They judge and assess what you're doing, what you have, and how you respond to their questions, how you respond to their probing. So we don't need to profile people, and we don't need to do these, wholesale, make every little old lady in tennis shoes take off her tennis shoes stuff. Instead, if we think like Israelis and we focus on actual conduct of actual passengers, and we plug into that the various algorithms we have and the various databases that airline screeners should have access to, we can focus on the very narrow percentage of people who pose the largest percentage of the problem.
All right. Good job. Let's move on to our next topic. If you've had too much to drink and then you drive, you know exactly what you're doing. You're putting yourself in position to kill someone. Currently, if you're arrested for 3 DUIs in the past 10 years, or if you've injured or killed someone, your license can be revoked. What do you think about this? 3 DUIs in your life, period, and you lose your license. They're talking about that in the state assembly. Critics argue it's a bad idea and will lead to more unlicensed drivers and more uninsured accidents. Jack, after 3 DUIs, should you lose your license permanently?
I say that that's in some cases, yes, in some cases, no. We need to commit that question to the judicial branch. We need to make sure that the prosecutors of the state of California have every opportunity to make that argument, that they have laws and facts that support them when they come forward and make those arguments.
Yeah, but wait. What do you think? 3 DUIs in your life. Lose your license or not?
I think that it depends on the driver, on the circumstances, and that's what we have a judicial branch for.
Let me ask you a question. Jack, let me ask you a question.
You asked me, quite answered.
All right, let me ask you a question. You're telling me it depends on the driver? The driver is drunk. The driver is drunk. Period. What else do you need?
This is an easy bumper sticker thing to get behind. I get where this comes from politically. If I were a judge and someone were in front of me and had 3 DUIs, I wouldn't have a problem yanking their license. But I say leave it up to the judge. We leave all the other sentencing decisions up to judges. Let's leave this one up to them, too.
What do you think, Matt?
I tend to agree with Jack on this. I think it's an overreaction. 3 DUIs. What's the magic number for revoking someone's license for life? And we're talking life. It's decades. What if it's somebody who got into trouble early when they're young and they have a clean record for 20 years, and then they get they barely have a .08, get a DUI, they lose their license for the rest of their life based on that? I think this is a case of I understand the impulse behind it, but I think it's a case of political posturing for the sake of voters more than a reasonable public safety measure. It reminds me of the old saying that hard cases make for bad law. And to base this legislation on the outrageous example of a guy in San Mateo who got 8 DUIs, got his license back, committed a 9th DUI, I don't think it's a bad basis for law. I mean, as I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong, Fred, but the drunk driver who killed the Angels pitcher, I believe, was driving on a suspended license.
That's correct.
So obviously it wouldn't stop someone like him.
No, it wouldn't stop someone like him. Let me take the last word if I can here. I got to tell you guys something, and I respect both of your opinions. 1 DUI. When you drive drunk, you are getting behind the wheel, and if you're drunk, you could kill somebody. I got to tell you something. No support here. One DUI, in my mind, really is one too many. Let's move on.